Well, you know there's always going to be another executive order or some other bill when it comes to COVID. So that's what we're going to be covering today, the newest executive order for additional COVID relief. There's some goods and there's some, I don't know how I feel about that in this program. So stay tuned and we'll get it covered for you. Hey guys, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess. If you'd like to learn how Tax Goddess helps 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs reduce their tax bills, grow massive retirement accounts, keep their wealth, and of course save millions of dollars on major deals and your day-to-day taxes, reach out to us at taxgoddess.com, book an appointment. We'd love to chat. So today, we're going to cover the newest executive order from Trump. Now, there are 4 main parts to this executive order, okay? Some of them I think are good. Some of them I think, yeah, I don't know how to think about it, okay? Of course, it all depends on who you are and how you feel about what's happening and what your situation is. So you guys know that here on this channel, we work with business owners. So I am speaking to this from the perspective of business owners here in the USA. Now, the very first part of the executive order is enhanced unemployment benefits. Now, y'all know that there was an extra $600 per week, which means $2,400 per month that the original COVID Act allowed for unemployment. Now, the downside for business owners to the original was that at $2,400 a month, a lot of people decided not to go back to work, which means that it was really difficult for business owners to even attempt to keep their businesses open, even if they could afford to bring people back when they got their PPP loans or their EIDL loans. So now Trump has now reduced, well, let's back up. The original extra $600 per week ended on July 31st. Trump has put in an executive order that will bring back some of it, not all of it. So there's an extra $400 on top of your state unemployment benefits, but only the federal government will only be contributing $300. The other $100 has to come from the state's budgets themselves. So depending on your state, depending on whether it's broke or not, if you're an individual and you are on unemployment, okay, you may still be able to continue to get unemployment, not at $600, it may be $400, it may be $300, depending on how broke your state is. So this is really good for the individuals who actually need it. For business owners, you know, the question is at that $300 or $400 extra per month mark, are people going to continue to stay on unemployment and not come back to work? Now, of course, that leads into a whole different question, which is if you've got somebody that can work, right, that you are offering a job back to, and they're refusing to come back to work because they can earn more on unemployment, do you want them back? Maybe it's time to start looking and hiring elsewhere. But that's a totally different topic for a totally different video. So let's go on to point number 2, which is the eviction orders. All right. The original CARES Act banned late fees and evictions or eviction filings until July 25th on properties that were backed by federal mortgage programs like Fannie Mae or those that receive federal funds like the HUD. Now, the 𝘮𝘮𝘬𝘮 Act, there was a lot of back and forth, and what are we really going to do? At this point, it leaves the decision to continue the ban or to add the ban back again, since it was over on July 25th, in the hands of I've got to read this, Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar and the Center for Disease Control Prevention Director Robert Redfield. So, you know, interesting that they're putting a restriction on bans with the CDC guy, Health and Human Services, for sure, that makes sense. But at this point, Trump is basically saying, you guys please figure this out. Should we still have a ban or not have a ban? You know, what's good for the economy? So anyway, for all of our real estate investors out there, I'd love to hear if your states are still having any kind of bans or restrictions or anything on you as the owner of property as to whether or not you're allowed to evict. Now, the third piece of Trump's executive order are student loan payment deferral options have been extended, okay? This has now been, it was was set to expire under the CARES Act on September 30th. It has been extended until December 31st. Now, as of this executive order, these payments are supposed to restart again January 1st of 2021. So that's piece 4, or piece 3. Piece 4, and this is the most contentious, this is what everybody's kind of wondering about, is the payroll tax cut. Now, they always call it a tax cut, okay? It's not a tax cut. This is a deferral. It's a deferral, okay? So basically what is supposed to happen here is that if you as the individual, if your earnings are less than $100,000 a year or less than $4,000 every 2 weeks, these are pre-tax numbers, you are going to be allowed to temporarily not pay your payroll taxes, which would include FICA and Medicare taxes. Now, this could also defer withholding taxes. Now, this is something that drives me a little bit nuts, okay, is that when the government does one of these things, they don't properly explain to you guys, the taxpayers, how this works, okay? Just because it's a payroll tax holiday, right, withholding and FICA and Medicare, doesn't mean that at some point you're not going to have to pay these, okay? It's not that the government is saying you don't owe any taxes. The government is saying we want to put money in your pocket right now so that you can spend, right? We all love, the American government loves consumerism. They want you guys to have money in your pocket now so you can spend or you can live, right? Let me back up. Of course, if you need the money and you need to be able to eat, you have to eat, okay? But there's going to be a major problem here coming down the road. And of course, the government isn't going to tell you, by the way, you should probably be taking some of that extra money and putting it in a savings account labeled the IRS, which of course, if you put those two words together, the IRS spells theirs, right? It's always their money, okay? We are going to have some major issues when it comes to filing taxes next year. So your April 15th deadline for individuals coming next year, all right? So I would highly recommend that if all of a sudden, if you're making $100,000 a year or less, and all of a sudden you're getting more money in your take-home paycheck, just remember, guys, that money is not your money. At some point, you've got to pay the Pied Piper, okay? The government always has their hand out, always wants their money. Remember, this is an election year, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on here to make sure, who's going to get reelected? How's it going to work? Okay. Now that's also a topic for a completely different video. You guys know we try not to talk politics here. Okay. But these are the big important things in the executive order. I would love to hear your comments. I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Big question. What is the major difference between an executive order and legislation? So the executive order signed by Trump, the one we're discussing, will only cover the 4 topics above, okay, that we just discussed. Legislation typically is an entire package, right? The CARES Act, the HEALS Act, some of these things. Now, the Dems and the Republicans have been fighting over new stimulus packages, over these new bills. They're still negotiating, okay? Stimulus check discussions are ramping up, all right? So there's a lot of other things that are still happening in the background, but you guys know that we only bring you data when it actually happens and it actually goes into effect. So at this point, we've got those 4 major things right now, right? We've got the enhanced unemployment benefits, which really it just went from 600 to 0, and now they're putting it back to 300 or 400 depending on your state, okay, as a recap. You've got the eviction orders that have not been renewed yet, okay? This may still be coming, so we're waiting to hear from the CDC guy and the head of human services guy. Student loan deferral payments, those have been now extended to December 31st of 2020. And this payroll tax cut, okay, if you're under $100,000, if you're making under $100,000 a year, you should expect to see more money in your take home. Please just remember that is not your money. It belongs to the IRS, it belongs to theirs. It's their money. Okay. So, yeah, guys, hope you guys are having a great day. And if you have any questions, any comments, please throw them down in the fields below and wherever the comments questions are below. And me and the team will try to get back to you as fast as possible. So, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess here. Thank you so much for being a part of our Tax Goddess family. Number one, subscribe to our channel and make sure that you click the notification bell. That way you'll get all of our new videos when they come out. Number two, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come learn from my team and I and other like-minded business owners, join our Facebook group. That is Tax Goddess-Tax Strategies that save entrepreneurs thousands. So definitely check it out. We answer Q&A there all day long, host special Facebook Lives, that kind of thing. Now, number three, if you want some help right now, you have a burning issue, you have a major tax bill to pay, you didn't do any planning, you need some planning, you have a pending deal that's going to happen and you want that planning in advance, go to taxgoddess.com. You can book an appointment to speak directly with me or someone else on our professional team to chat about your situation, see what's going on, see how Tax Goddess can help you. So again, thank you so much for being a part of the Tax Goddess family, and I can't wait to chat with you. All right, bye.